Alright guys, this is a muffin recipe that I found online this morning. I wanted to share it with you guys. I found it on eatingwell.com. It's called Savory Breakfast Muffins. And the recipe, I altered slightly. Instead of using the wheat flour and the all-purpose flour, I used the pancake flour that you use for muffins or pancakes or waffles. And then I also use garlic salt in the place of salt. And I didn't have buttermilk, so I used regular milk plus a teaspoon of vinegar. And then instead of fresh scallions, which if I had I would have used them, I used chives. And then where it says Canadian bacon, I just used regular bacon, and I cooked it in the microwave and cut it up into pieces. And then I used banana peppers because that's what I had out in my garden. And on the very tippy top, I did a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese, and you can kind of see that on some of the muffins. I think I could have added more garlic. You can see they kind of got ravaged by my family. I really wasn't feeling well enough this morning to stand over the stove and cook a lot. So by doubling the recipe, I got 30 muffins, and I have about half that many for breakfast tomorrow. And my two boys were not here today, so luckily, because there would have been a lot more damage done to these muffins. But these are a nice savory recipe, and I think it could be really good if I added a little bit of cream corn to it, or maybe some cornmeal also to give it kind of a sweet and savory taste. But these muffins, I used 6 cups of pancake flour and a teaspoon of ground pepper, a goodly sized dash of garlic salt, 4 eggs, 2 2/3 cup of buttermilk plus a teaspoon of vinegar, or milk rather than buttermilk. Also, I used the bacon grease instead of the extra virgin olive oil. If I'd used the extra virgin olive oil, it would have been a little healthier, so you can use whichever you prefer. And then I put a cup of grated or crumbled cheddar cheese, and about a cup of finely diced bell pepper, or in this case I used banana pepper, and then I sprinkled the top with Parmesan cheese, and they turned out really savory and yummy. I cooked mine at 350 for 30 minutes. The recipe calls for 400 degrees for 20 to 22 minutes. You could do it either way. I just already had my oven preheated to 350, so I left them in there a little bit longer. But they turned out really yummy and good, and I think next time I would probably add a few more strips of bacon. I think I had 5 or 6 strips of bacon. That's what I had on hand. So I might use a little bit more bacon in them next time. They were very moist because of the bacon, and they had a nice, sweet, savory kind of flavor to them because of the sweet banana peppers. But if you wanted to get a little spicy with this, you could use the hot banana peppers, I suppose, if you wanted to. It just depends on your personal preference. But this is a nice option for diabetics and people that don't want, you know, too much sugar or too much sweet in their muffins. It actually comes from the Eating Well Diabetes cookbook. I didn't realize that when I looked up the recipe, but I read that up and discovered that. So I won't have to cook breakfast tomorrow, which is good because it's Sunday and I don't want to have to cook breakfast before we go to church. And I'm hoping that I'll be well enough to go to church tomorrow, because my church family has been praying for me. But I just wanted to share these muffins with y'all, and I hope you try them and enjoy.